Guys, it's Paul Harrison here after another brilliant webinar with our clients this evening. One thing I wanted to identify for you as well is a particular stock we were looking at. Now, this particular stock, I mean, it doesn't matter which stock it is, but one of our clients was having a look at this as far as a potential setup for a long position. Now, what we were basically looking for was his question was. Are we able to take this particular trade? Now, the thing is, I mean, obviously, we don't recommend trades per se. We can't do, obviously, but we normally look for a 1 year time frame. Now, what this person was trying to say was obviously this was his hit on support, and he then wanted to tie this in with some of the other rules in order to make that a viable trade for him to take. But then decided to go back and have a look at the 3 year time frame. You can't actually see it from where we are at the moment, but it's a 3 year time frame. And basically he was wondering where he needs to put a stop loss. Now the thing is, you need to be, if you're following the rules, you need to be able to follow the rules to the T. You can't sort of take another additional bounce and say, okay, well, that was justification for me to enter the trade. However, I don't want to use a longer stop loss than what I would if I was off one of these here. Okay, the fact of the matter is, folks, if you're looking for certain criteria, you need to see that whole setup there. Okay, so in order for him to take that particular trade, he didn't have to have a deeper stop loss than what he wanted to. And in order to have a deeper stop loss, obviously, it was then going to result that he wouldn't be able to take the trade because the ratios just weren't there. And if there is really a secret in trading, it's got to be the ratios. If people are trading particularly swing positions, if you're holding a trade up to maybe I don't know, 2-3 months, and you've got anything less than a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio, it's going to be very, very tough to make considerable consistent money in the markets, because obviously there's so many different elements there that can really affect your trade as well. So particularly with the macro environment being as it is now, and a lot of decisions at the highest level really affecting the markets and what have you. So you've really got to be able to have those ratios on your side. And when you do, you don't have to win every second trade, especially if you've got 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1 risk reward ratios. I believe another trader of ours, I think he had a 19-to-1 risk reward ratio on one particular trade, and that actual trade came home for him. And you can imagine, if you're only risking one but have a potential of making back 19 and a half, you'd be amazed at, or I'm sure you can actually imagine how much of an impact that would have on your trading for the month. So basically this trade was ruled out because the stop loss was going to have to be too big in order to get into that particular trade. He wasn't going to make the money back on the other side there, or that's how it was looking anyway at the time. And it didn't look reasonable to take a trade. So remember, folks, ratio is very, very important. But if you're taking all the elements to suggest to get into the trade, you've got to take the good with the bad there. So if you've got your additional bounces, you need to be able to have your stop loss in the right place there as well. It's all part of the big picture and all things you need to take into account when you're actually looking to place a trade. So I hope that helps with your trading moving forward. And yeah, have a great week's trading. No doubt you hear from me same time next week. So all the very best. Have a great week's trading. Cheers, folks. Bye-bye.